All right. So, today, doing more free code camp. We're going through the responsive web design still. I did go through. I'll put the video up, but I did go through this as well, the Bootstrap one. Be putting that up so you can watch that afterwards. But yeah, we're gonna go through this. HTML forms, building a registration form. So you can use HTML forms to collect information for people who visit your website. In this course, you'll learn HTML forms, building a sign-up page. You'll learn how to control what types of data people can type in your form, and some new CSS tools for styling your page. So let's start it up. So this is what we're going to do. I'm guessing you can... Here we go. And a password we'll never be able to know. Oh, wow. Cool. So you can choose files and stuff. Input your age. freeCodeCamp. And then I accept with a submit. Cool. Never. No. Do not. Alright, so the doc type, of course. I actually think I have VS Code. Boom. This is why we pull up the CS code. Boom. And the lang. Let's just copy all of this. What? Lang set to ing, right? Oh, we have to put the closing tag. There we go. Next, add your opening and closing head and body tags. There we go. Add a title, add a meta. God damn it. Alright. So just boom. Boom. Oops, title is registration form. Boom, there we go. And that's the link. Okay, so within the head we need the link, which we usually do here. Rel of style sheets, style sheet, and the href of stats.css. There we go. Within the body, provide a heading, contact text. So H1. And with the text registration form, here we go. A lot of just copy paste, which I love. And so below the heading, use the following text within a paragraph element. Please fill out this form with the required information. There we go. The VH unit stands for viewpoint height and is equal to 1% of the height of the viewport. did I say viewpoint? Viewport height. Height of the viewport. This makes it relative to the viewport height. It is the time to spruce the project up with some CSS. Begin by giving the body a width of 100% and a height of 100 viewport, or view height. VH, right? That's what it is, viewport height. Yeah. So, the body, oops, guess we need to click on that. Body, since it's the whole body, we want the width. Oh, let's make this look nicer. Width of 100%, and make the height the 100 viewport height. Oh. Check the code, there we go. Now get rid of the horizontal scroll bar by setting the body default margin added by some browsers to 0. Okay, so default margin. That is better. Now make the background easy on the eyes by changing the body background color. So background color to this, and color, which is of course the text, to there we go. As suggested by the title, you are creating a form. So after the P element, insert a form with an action attribute. I think that's right. Yep. And so the method attribute specifies how to send form data to the URL specified in the action attribute. The form data can be sent via a GET request as URL parameters with method equals GET, or via POST request as data in the request body with, oh man, method equals POST. Set the method attribute to send your form data via a POST request. Okay. So set method attribute. So we gotta do method. Gotta do method. Methos. Method post. Let's see. There we go. So, as the form will have 3 distinct sections, add 3 field set elements with the form element. As the form with 3 distinct sections, add 3 field set elements. Oh, what am I doing? Why did I do EI? Whoops. There we go. So adding in those lines. Of course, got to take a minute here. Help millions of people learn. Yeah, these guys are pretty good. Like I said, I will eventually, but at the moment, I can't. Well, not can't, but I'm not going to at the moment. I will. First field set will hold Name, email, password fields. Start by adding 4 label elements to the first field set. Boom. Add the following text to the label elements. Enter your first name. Enter your last name. Enter your email. And create a new password. There we go. The REM unit stands for root EM. Root M. And is relative to the font size of the HTML element. As label elements are inline, by default, they are all displayed side by side on the same line, making their text hard to read. To make them appear on separate lines, add display block to the label element. Oh, we're doing it right here. And add a margin of 0.5 REM0. Okay. Why do you believe they put a man on the moon? There we go. And so this field set, nest an input element within each label. Be sure to add each input after the label text and include a space for the colon. Okay, so space after the colon rather. So input. Following accessibility best practices, link the input elements and the label elements together using the for attribute. Okay, and let's send the label elements together using the for attribute. Use first name, last name, email, and new password as values for their respective ID attributes. Okay, so like that, right? Is that correct? Is that correct? Link the input elements and the label elements together using the for attribute. How does that work again? Let's try that. Like this. The first input element should have an ID of first name. Oh, so we have to put IDs. I could be wrong on that for one. I, for some reason, just blanking on it. Copy and paste email and new password. Okay, the first label. Okay, so it's on the label. It's There we go. Okay. I was on the right track. I just forgot to... Well, we had to put those the same as the ID. Okay. We'll remember that. Specifying the type attribute for form element is important for the browser to know what kind of data it should expect. If the type is not specified, the browser will default to text. Give the first two input elements type of text. Okay. And the other ones, we're going to have the type email and type password. Okay. Let's get those all in and type text and type email. Oh, this one will also be text and then email. And then password. There we go. So in this case, the email type will only allows emails with an @ and a period in the domain. The password type obscures the input and warns if the site does not have or does not use HTTPS. There we go. So the first input element with a type of submit is automatically set to submit its nearest parent form element. It's automatically set to submit its nearest parent form element. To handle the form submissions, after the last field set element, add an input element with the type attribute set to submit and the value attribute set to submit. Okay. So after the last field set, sorry here, input, whoops, and the type attribute. Nice submit button. There we go. At this point, you should be able to submit the form. Normally, this form would be submitted. It works. This will be submitted to registerdemo.freecodecamp.org. Okay. You might notice not much happens. To make the form more interactive, add the required attributes to the input elements in the first field set. Excuse me. Sorry, so what? To make the form more interactive, add the required attribute to the input elements in the first field set. So all I have to do is just say required, right? It's one of those ones I don't need to have a value. That's right. Okay. Certain type attributes values, or certain type attribute values come with built-in form validation. For example, type equals email requires that the value be a valid email address. Add custom validation to the password input elements by adding a minimum length attribute with a value of 8. Okay, boom. Doing so prevents inputs of less than 8 characters being submitted. And so that's this one. New password, right? Yeah, just that one. Okay. So min length equals 8. With type equals password, you can use the pattern attribute to define a regular expression that the password must match to be considered valid. Add pattern attribute to the password input element to require the input match A to Z 0 to 5. What is this? The above is regular expression which matches 8 or more lowercase letters or the digits 0 to 5. Then remove the minimum length attribute and try it out. So adding in then remove the min length attribute. Okay, let's go to the next part of this registration form. The section will ask for the type of account the user is opening. Add 2 label elements to the second field set. Oh, 2 label. What am I doing? There we go. Users will be allowed to choose either a personal or a business to do this. Within each of the... I just noticed we've been quiet. Let's get some music, eh? Users will be allowed to choose either personal or business. To do this, within each of the 2 label elements, add an input with type radio. Okay. Inside of them, right? Within each, yes. Input, the type equals radio. There we go. Within each corresponding label element, and immediately after the input element, add a space and add the following text. Look at that. You only want 1 radio input to be selectable at a time. However, the form does not know the radio inputs are related. To relate the radio inputs, give them the same name attribute with a value of account type. So that was the radio inputs. Name equals account type. Boom. Currently, users can submit the form without checking the radio inputs. Boom. Although you previously used the required attribute to indicate that an input is required, It won't work in this case because adding required to both inputs will convey the wrong information to the users. To solve this, you can provide context of what is needed by adding a legend element with the text account type required before the label element within the second field set. Okay. So we want Is that right? To solve this, you can provide context of what is needed by adding a legend. Did that element with text within the second field set and add the checked attribute. Is legend one of these ones? Yeah, I don't know. Context of what is needed by adding legend element. Yeah, what am I doing here? Oh. Adding a legend element with the text. Okay, we gotta see how the fuck this works. Yeah. What? Legend. Account type required. Oh, you know what it was? I was putting that afterwards. What an idiot. Okay. What? You should give the attribute checked to the personal input. Not on the label. Oops. Checked. Checked. There we go. Follow accessibility best practices by linking the input elements and the label elements in the second field set. Use personal account and business account as values for the respective ID attributes. Personal account and business account as values for the ID attributes. Okay. Checked. ID equals. to link, we wanted the 4, yes. Check ID. Fuck. Dang. There we go. So you need to confirm that the user has read the terms and conditions. Add a label element. So, label. Inside the newly created label element, add an input element, of course. Oh, whoops. Label. Label element inside the newly created label element. Add input element with the type of checkbox. And it is required ID equals terms and conditions, as well as the 4. Add the text, I accept the terms and conditions immediately after the input. Why even type it when you guys got it right there for me? Thank you. After the input element in the newly added label, then link the text, terms, and conditions. Oh, link that. So this has got to be anchored. Boom, there we go. Oh, that's hard to read on the eye. Oh, that's hard on the eyes. I didn't like that. Okay. Moving on to the final field set. What if you wanted to allow a user to upload a profile picture? Well, the input type file allows just that. Add a label with the text, upload a profile picture, and a nest in input accepting a file upload. Okay, so label. And we're probably going to have to add the 4. It doesn't say right now, so it'll just get rid of it anyways. Label. Add label with the text, upload a profile picture. Oop. And nest an input accepting a file upload. Add a label with the text. Okay, that was right. Add another label after the first with the text. Input your age, years, and then nest an input with the same type of number. Next, add a minimum attribute to the input with a value of 13 because users under the age of 13 should not register. Also, users probably will not be over the age of 120. Add a max attribute with a value of 120. Now, if someone tries to submit the form with the values outside of the range, a warning will appear and the form will not submit. Give it a try. Okay. So, this one we want to add another label. Okay. So, input your age. The number. Good, we gotta put it before the input here. Yeah. There we go. And then add a minimum attribute to the input. There we go. Ooh. There we go. We're cruising along now. We're cruising. Adding a drop down to the form is easy with the select element. The select element is a container for a group of option elements, and the option element acts as a label for each drop down option. Both elements require closing tags. Start by adding a select element below to the two label elements. Then nest 5 option elements within the select element. Okay, so this will be a select, right? And both of them need closing tags, so that is a container for a group of option elements. So now we got to make those options. Start by adding a select element below the two. And then adding 5 options. Whoop. There we go. Nest the select element with its option elements within a label element with the text, "How did you hear about us?" Then text should come before the select element. So nest the select element with its option elements within a label element. Okay, so now these need to go to a label. Within a label element, with the text, "How did you hear about us?" Oh, okay, we're getting it. There we go. Now, submitting the form with an option selected would not send a useful value to the server. As such, each option needs to be given a value attribute, without which the text context of the option will be submitted to the server. Give the first option a value of the subsequent options element values of 1 to 4. Okay. There we go. Okay, so let's take a quick look here. Let's shift this out to the, oops. So I'm just going to take a quick look at this bad boy here. So you can fill this all out. Still want to get rid of that. So, oh, I didn't even do the thing. Text area element acts like an input element of type text, but comes with the added benefit of being able to receive multi-line text and an initial number of text rows and columns. Users would be able to register with a bio. So add a label with the text "provide a bio" at the end of the field set. There we go. We got ourselves a little text area. There we go. Boom. And so link the applicable form elements and their label elements together. Use profile picture, age, referrer. I hate that. Referrer. Should be referred by, but and bio as values for the respective ID attributes. This will be the 4s. Okay, I think that's all of it. Boom. Okay, the text area appears too small. To give it an initial size, you can add the rows and columns attribute. So size of 3 rows and 30 columns. That will be for the bio, right? The text area. Text area. Oh, I put column, not calls. There we go. To give campers an idea of what to put in their bio, the placeholder attribute is used. The placeholder accepts a text value which is displayed until the user starts typing. So give the text area a placeholder. I like boating on the beach. That's a weird place, but with forum submissions, it is useful and good practice to provide each submittable element with a name attribute. This attribute is used to identify the elements in the forum submission. Except for the 2 radio inputs, which you already have named, give each submittable element a unique name of your choosing. Okay, so I think all of this. What are the ones that I already give name? First name. The radio ones. Where are you? Where are you? So every single one of them. So that'll be the. Do I put it on the? Yeah, okay, it is on the actual input itself, so. So, this one will be quite a bit. Let's just keep going here. So that enable password. This one is for. Oh, those ones we already have names. What am I doing? I hope I'm doing this right. I hope I'm not supposed to give like some. You want to email? File. File. Where's the file? Oh. Durr. Oh, we have to give it for the select element as well. Okay. See, this is why we're doing it. Text area. Didn't I already do that? Oh, no, that was the accepting the TAS. Bio text area. Placeholder. Name. Oh, bio, fuck that. Or, screw that, there we go. It was submittable, I didn't think, like, just for the text area. So that's kind of dumb, I should have definitely known that. HTML for the registration form is finished. Now you can spruce it up a bit. Start by changing the font to Tahoma. And the font size to 16 pixels in the body. Okay. It's font family, right? I believe. Let's just try font. Oh, what do you do? And it is font family. Okay. I'm actually just going to take a quick little break here. I gotta go to the washroom, so be right back. I'll leave the music going for you. Okay, so center the H1 and P elements by giving them margin of 1 EM auto, then align their text in the center as well. So H1, P, oh, we need to have the, right? Do we need the comma? Text align. knitter. And margin 1 EM auto. What? It isn't. There needs to be a comma. Okay, I was right. Boom. There we go. Center the form element by giving it a margin of 0 auto. And then its maximum width, which is max width. Right. Of 500. I could be wrong on that. I don't think that's what it is. Oh, okay, it is max width. Okay. And then a minimum width of 300 pixels. There we go. And then an actual width. VW. There we go. It's looking more like a form, eh? Look at that. Look at that. Oh, I gotta switch this back over to the other side there. So you can see what I'm typing here. During development, it is useful to see the field set default borders. However, they make the content appear too separated. Remove the border and 2 rem of padding. And add 2 rem of padding only to the top and bottom of each field set. Be sure to remove the padding from the left and right. Okay, so it'll be I think we go with field set. Oh my god, I did it again. Field set. Right? I'm sorry, I spelled it right. Why is it saying? Right? Okay. So field set. I just put it to none. And then padding, we go top, so it's 2 rem 0, 2 rem 0. Boom. To give the field set elements a bit of separation, select them and give the border bottom of 3 pixels solid. There we go. That's looking nice. Okay. Looking good. It's looking good. Okay. The border of the last field set element looks a little out of place. A little bit, yes. You can select the last element of a specific type using the last of type. CSS pseudo class like this. P last of type. So that will select the last P element. Okay. So I guess that's create a new selector that targets the last field set. Okay, so field set last type. Border bottom none. There we go. It would be nicer to have the label text appear above the form element. Select all input text area and select elements. Text area and select, and make them take up the full width of their parent element. So that would be just width 100%, right? I could be wrong on that. I'm just gonna. Okay, I think that's right. So. Then we go to margin. Oh, margin top, sorry. Margin top to 0. Oh, what am I doing? $10px000. What are you talking about? Oh, I'll just go margin. There we go. That's what I was doing. So, for the second field set, you want the input and label text to appear on the same line. Start by giving the input elements and the second field set a class of inline. Select only the .inline elements. Give them a width of unset. Let's unset do. This will remove the earlier rule which set all input elements to width 100. Okay. Now, add some space between the inline elements and the label text by giving a right margin of 0.5 rem, and also set all the rest to 0. So, margin of, it was the right, so 0, then that, then 0, 0. If you look close enough, you will notice the inline elements are too high on the line. To combat this, set the vertical align property to middle. Vertical align, middle. All right. Okay, we're rocking, we're rolling. I think we're getting close. I think it was only like 65 or something, and we're on step 54, so getting close to the end. Okay, to make the input and text area elements blend in with the background theme, set their background color to then give them 1 pixel solid border with the color. Okay, so border 1 pixel solid and black. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's go to the next challenge. Currently, if you type in the input or text area elements, you will not be able to see the text. No, because it's black. So we got color, we got to make it white. All of the color. And setting their minimum length to minimum height, sorry, to 2 EM. Oh. Okay. You want the select element to remain with a white background, but now it is not getting the same minimum height as the input text area elements. Move the minimum height property and value so that all 3 element types have the same minimum height value, and select element, and the select element still has a white background. Wait, what? So you want to select elements white background, but where is it? Wait, so do we just want to put it all together? We want the select element to remain with the white background, but not. Okay, that's why. Because these will double supersede it, right? I think. Nope. There we go. I'm just an idiot. To style the submit button, you can use an attribute selector which selects an element based on the given attribute value. Here's an example. Input, name, password. So the above selects input elements with a name attribute value of password. Now use the attribute selector to style the submit button with a display. Okay, so it would be, what was the name for the submit button? Oh. That's the submit button, right? But it doesn't have the, do I have to give it the name? oh, just any attribute. So I could just put input value submit. Input type submit. I think this is right. Okay, so we gotta do the type. Can't do it with that other one. Okay. With a display of block, the submit button sits flush against the left edge of its parent. Use the same technique used to center form, which was margin, right? 0 auto. Yeah. Now it should be right in the middle. Oh, of course I'm. Boom. So right in the middle. Right in the middle. Perfect. And okay. To make the submit button look more in line with the rest of the form, give it the same height as the other field form. Also increase the font size to 1.1 rem. To make the submit button appear more distinct, give it a background color of this. Whatever color this is. There we go, that's looking better. Lastly, for the submit button, you want to separate it from the field set above and adjust its width to never be below 300 pixels. So min width. 300 pixels. There we go. Most browsers inject their own default CSS properties and values for different elements. If you look closely, you might be able to notice the file input is smaller. Yes. Than the other text input elements. By default, a padding of 1 pixel, 2 pixels is given to the input element. You can type in. Using other attribute selectors, style the input with a type of file to be the same padding as the other input elements. Okay, so input file type not submit. Did I call it file? I don't think I called it file. Oh no, it's the type, so I might have. Name file, type file. Okay, there we go. Same padding. Where's the where did we put the padding? I don't remember what the other ones were. Ah. What? I thought it was saying you should give it to the same as the other inputs. It's just the other bad. Okay. Speaking of padding, the submit button is sitting at the bottom of the form element. Add to new padding here. Oh, can't just do it that way. That's stupid. Make the input for the terms and conditions inline by adding the appropriate class in the HTML. Lastly, change the text color of the terms and conditions. Link element to and I called that one what? Right? Is this what I was asking? Sorry. Totally forgot it. Lastly, change the text color of the terms and conditions. So that's when we use an ID, terms and conditions. And oh, just color. Oh. Oh, we just have to do the A, okay. I thought we'd have to get a little more specific. Oh. There we go. Okay, now we know what to do. What? Okay, so let's Get rid of preview for now. Styles.css. Styles. Copy. Paste. A. And copy. Paste. Save. Now let's check this. Oh, terminal. New terminal. Live server. Boom, look at that. Looking beautiful. Looking beautiful. Alright, so I think that's it for now. Yes, I think that's it for now. We will get back to it on Friday. Yeah. Come back for another one Friday on this one. Gonna do some more of the other freeCodeCamp on the other one. Boom, and I'm just gonna go submit and go to next challenge. There we go. So yeah, that is it for today. I am going to sign off.